Can I be real or is it boring? To give you a peace of mind, cause mine is so enormous. We past the norm, Norman, while you're conforming. Like comforting mattresses that comfort them with torn.
What up, though? It's that nigga Mom, man. We about to react to this video, new channel Discovery after the credits. They say the movie They Live predicted everything happening now. So I've never seen They Live. Actually, I may have seen it, but I probably was very young and obviously it didn't, catch my eye like that. I really didn't. Probably like the prosthetics and shit. But before we get into this, like and subscribe so we hit that 100K today, and check out after the credits and see what other content they got, and what type of content they got. So let's get right into this. Let's see what he's talking about. Okay.
They Live is not a science fiction movie. It is a documentary about us right now. In 1988, critics dismissed John Carpenter's film as a cheap, goofy B-movie about aliens. They said the acting was stiff. They said the 6-minute alley fight was self-indulgent. They were wrong. They Live wasn't a story about monsters invading Earth. It was a ruthless autopsy of how we really live. It's a film about how comfortable we are with being controlled. And looking back at it 35 years later, the scariest thing isn't the...
And it's crazy. It's like, for real, y'all, a lot of motherfuckers don't mind being controlled, being consumers and shit like
aliens.
that.
It's that Carpenter didn't need to predict the future to write this horror story. He just looked out the window. To understand why this movie hits so hard today, you have to remember what 1988 felt like. It was morning in America. The stock market was the heartbeat of the culture. Greed wasn't just good, it was a virtue. Pop culture was drowning in neon, spandex, and relentless optimism. And into this party walked John Carpenter, the master of horror. But he wasn't bringing a slasher villain like Michael Myers this time. He was bringing a mirror. When They Live opened on November 4th, it debuted at #1, but the critics hated it. They saw a wrestler with a mullet shooting aliens in cheap rubber masks. They called the political message clunky and heavy-handed. They thought Carpenter was just trying to make a quick buck with an action flick.
And they would call it that if they, trying to cover up the fact, it is like that.
But that was the trick. The sci-fi genre was a Trojan horse. Carpenter knew that nobody in 1988 wanted to watch a lecture about supply-side economics. So he wrapped his anger inside a B-movie. He later said, "By the time the 80s rolled around, I thought, the world is being sold to us." He was watching the rise of the yuppie class, young, upwardly mobile professionals obsessed with status. He hated them. And he hated
and that's what it's become cased in feminism. Hold on, yo, I gotta grab my stuff. Alright, here, I just got my shit from Misfits Market, but let me continue this video before I put the food up, because they, keep an ice pack in there, so I got time to take it out. But, I never seen this movie, and a lot of it, is art to life type shit.
how easily everyone else was buying.
Or, life to art.
So he made a movie where the villains
And I seen some Nike with that Obey sign before.
weren't invaders from Mars.
In that same font.
They were just business owners. The aliens in the film don't want to destroy the planet. They just want to develop it. They want to turn Earth into a third world colony for their own galactic economy. It was a brilliant satire. But for years, most people only remembered the bubblegum line. However,
I don't remember.
if you look closer, the most disturbing part of the film isn't the monsters. It's the specific tool the hero...
The glasses, right? And I feel like I'm this nigga. I'm him, you know what I'm saying? I'm wearing the glasses every day, you know what I'm saying? I see outside the box. Y'all living inside of it, and I can see the faces of these evil motherfuckers. I can see their spirits and shit. Like, damn, that motherfucker evil. I don't fuck with them. Like, but I just naturally got it. You know what I'm saying?
Uses to see them. And that tool completely flips our understanding of how the world works. This brings us to the most brilliant and most philosophical prop in cinema history,
Okay.
the Hoffman lenses. In almost every other sci-fi movie, when a character discovers a hidden world, the special effects add something. They add magic, or ghosts, or a digital overlay. But in They Live, the glasses do the exact opposite. They subtract. When Nada puts the sunglasses on, the color drains out of the world. The noise disappears. The beautiful woman on the billboard advertising a vacation isn't real. The glasses strip away the image and reveal the raw command underneath. Marry and reproduce. The dollar bill in his hand doesn't say, "In God we trust." It says, "This is your God." The
Wow.
philosopher Slavoj Žižek famously
crazy.
analyzed this scene in his documentary The Pervert's Guide to Ideology. He argues that They Live gets the concept of ideology exactly right, where almost every other movie gets it wrong. We usually think of ideology, our political beliefs, our worldview, as a pair of glasses we put on to interpret the world. We think that if we take the glasses off, we will see reality as it truly is. Carpenter argues the
And
opposite.
when you see reality as it truly is, you seem mad all the time because you understand what the fuck going on. You're like, damn, man, I don't fuck with that. They be like, damn, you just miserable? No, I just don't fuck with that because I understand what was actually going on.
Opposite. He says that we are already wearing the
No
glasses.
thought.
The natural state of our world, the color, the fun, the
I gotta
entertainment,
see this movie though.
That is the lie. That
The
is
entertainment,
the filter.
that's the distraction.
The trash can full of sunglasses in the church isn't a box of magic items. It's a box of painful truths. The Hoffman lenses don't distort reality. They force you to see the machinery without the paint job. They reveal that our society isn't a collection of free choices. It is a monochrome system of commands. Obey, consume, sleep. And once you see the world this way, you can never unsee it. It is a traumatic,
Facts.
headache-inducing experience.
Facts. You can never unsee the world once you take off them blinders. You know what I'm saying?
Which explains why the most famous scene in the movie isn't a battle against the aliens. It's a fistfight against a friend.
Trying to show them the proof. You know,
There's a moment
and that's
in
how it
Favorite.
is. That you trying to show them the proof, and you damn near gotta get into a physical fist fight. It's super artistic.
That stops the movie dead in its tracks. Nada
When you
finds
think
his friend
about it.
Frank, played by the incredible Keith David.
And he spelt that
tries
wrong.
to get Frank to put on the glasses. Frank refuses. And what follows is one of the most confusing, exhausting, and iconic scenes in cinema. A fist fight that lasts for 5 minutes and 20 seconds. That is an eternity in movie time. For context, the famous lobby shootout in The Matrix
minutes.
is barely 3 minutes long.
3 minutes,
This
okay.
alley fight was so demanding that Roddy Piper and Keith David rehearsed it for 3 weeks in Carpenter's backyard. Critics at the time called it self-indulgent. They said Carpenter just wanted to watch two muscular guys hit each other. But they missed the point entirely.
Yeah.
If this was just an action movie, Nada would have tricked Frank or forced the glasses onto him in 10 seconds. But Carpenter dragged it out on purpose. He wanted us to feel the exhaustion.
Yeah.
He wanted us to see the blood, the bruises, and the sheer physical toll of the struggle.
'Cause
Why?
it would be hard.
Because Frank isn't a villain.
Yeah. He ain't the villain. Yeah. It's a friend. And trying to get friends to know the truth is crazy. Like, for real. Like, growing up, my friends, like, I know shit, and I'll be trying to tell them, like, and expose them to some truth. Them niggas be like, oh, here come Jesus. This nigga Jesus. Because I'm just trying to get them some truth. But, hey, it's facts. But I'm not about to get no physical or fight with you, nigga. Hey, if you want to be dumb, you know what I'm saying, and continue to be a lamb, you know, a little sheep, just go ahead, do you.
Frank represents the exhaustion of the working class. He has a job, he has a life, and he knows.
And wait, though, like, later in life, niggas start telling me you was right all the time. I don't like that.
Knows the system is rigged, but he has carved out a tiny slice of comfort within that system. Putting on the glasses means losing that comfort. It means accepting that everything he has worked for is a lie. it means he has to do something about it. The fight scene is a violent metaphor for how hard it is to wake someone up.
Facts.
It is painful to dismantle your own worldview. It hurts to admit that you have been complicit. Frank fights dirty. He bites, he kicks, he does everything he can to stay blind. Because ignorance isn't just bliss.
Yeah.
Ignorance is safety. And when he finally...
And when they say ignorance is bliss, really, willful ignorance is bliss. Because, matter of fact, willful ignorance, yeah, that's worse than just being bliss.
Finally puts the glasses on. He doesn't cheer.
Because you know
he doesn't feel empowered. He looks at the aliens standing beside him, and he is horrified. Because the monsters aren't hideous beasts from a nightmare.
They need to remake this one. This is a movie they need to remake. They Live.
They look
with all the technology we got now to
worse.
do this shit. This should be
like
crazy.
Us. The scariest design choice in the movie is that the aliens aren't scary in the traditional sense. They don't have fangs. They don't have claws. They look like corpses that have been left out in the sun wearing expensive suits. Carpenter designed them to look like quote-unquote corrupt versions of us. They wear Rolexes. They drink champagne. They attend gala dinners. They are the ultimate quote-unquote yuppies. And the terrifying part is that they didn't conquer Earth with a Death Star. They just bought it. There is a scene where the human elite attend a banquet to celebrate their alien overlords. One human collaborator raises a glass and says,
"Our projections show that by the year 2025, not only America, but the entire planet will be under the protection and the dominion of this power alliance."
He isn't being mind controlled. He is just getting paid. This is where the...
That's just wild. And it make you put things into perspective, like, this truly happening. All the distractions in the world could keep you away from some shit like this. You know what I'm saying? They talk about reptilians and shit and all that. It could be true. Like, a lot of the shit these movies be true. And the CIA, they actually fund for these movies to be made. So, and a lot of technology that was used in movies years prior to a lot of the technology that came out down the line, the CIA provided those props. So, hey.
Movie stops being a satire and starts looking like a graph from an economics textbook. When They Live was released in 1988, the ratio of CEO pay to the average worker was roughly 58 to 1. That gap felt huge at the time, but looking back from today, that looks like a utopia. Recent data suggests that the ratio is now closer to 344 to 1. The gap between the quote-unquote aliens and the rest of us has widened by nearly 600%.
And them niggas look like aliens. Those look like some fucking aliens. Okay.
The fictional dystopia of 1988 is statistically better than our actual reality in 2026. The aliens won, and they didn't even have to hide. But despite this clear economic message, there is a dark corner of the internet that has tried to twist the movie's meaning into something hateful, and Carpenter has been fighting them off for years. It is an unfortunate rule of the internet that if you create a piece of art about a hidden elite, someone will try to make it about race. In recent years, They Live has been co-opted by neo-Nazi groups and white supremacists. They claim the film is a secret allegory for a Jewish conspiracy controlling the world. They circulate memes of the aliens with
I mean, the ish people, they those ain't the real, ones, but yeah, they own something with that.
Anti-Semitic captions, and John Carpenter absolutely hates it. The director has spent years...
Of course he gonna hate it, man, because he with the motherfuckers.
...fighting this interpretation on Twitter. He has been explicitly clear. They Live is about yuppies and unrestrained capitalism. It has nothing to do with any specific race or religion. But
he can't even say that. Race or religion. He can't even read the actual shit. That's how much control them motherfuckers got. I'm over here saying the ish people shit. Hey, nigga, shit. he trying to dispel it and shit and disregard it, dog, nigga. Yeah, okay.
The fact that this interpretation exists actually proves the movie's point. Remember, the aliens survive by keeping humans distracted. They want us fighting amongst ourselves. Blaming a specific race or religion for the world's problems is just...
That's not blame for a world problem. Yeah. When did this come out, bro? This came out before the war. Oh, this came out... Man, he tripping.
Another pair of sunglasses. It is a comfortable lie. It is much easier to believe that a specific group of bad people is ruining the world than to accept the harder truth. The truth that the economics...
Follow the history of it, though. History still exists. You know, I ain't about to expose
system itself is designed to consume us. By turning the movie into a racist conspiracy, these groups are doing exactly what the aliens want. They are ignoring the signal. And sadly, in the original ending of the movie, even the hero doesn't get to see the world change. In a typical 80s action movie, the hero wins. Rambo destroys the army. Maverick gets the girl. They ride off into the sunset and the status quo is restored. They Live ends very differently. Nada destroys the alien transmitter, but he doesn't get a medal. He gets gunned down by police on a rooftop. He dies branded a terrorist and a lunatic. But before he dies, he gives the aliens one final gesture. He gives them the finger. It is the ultimate act of punk rock rebellion. He knows he won't live to see the world wake up, but he refuses to die polite.
Yeah.
He refuses to play by their rules in his final moments. The transmitter explodes, the signal dies, and suddenly, everyone on Earth sees the truth. Lovers realize they are holding rotting corpses. News anchors turn into ghouls on live TV. The illusion is shattered. It is a bleak, cynical, and hilarious ending. But it leaves us with one final uncomfortable question. If Carpenter was right about the greed, and right about the apathy, and right about the inequality, how do we break the signal today? In 1988, the signal came from a single satellite dish on a TV station. You could blow it up with a rocket launcher. Today, the signal is decentralized. It is in the algorithm. It is in the notification bell. It is in the black mirror we carry in our pockets every single hour of the day. We don't need aliens to keep us asleep anymore. We are doing a great job of it ourselves. They Live wasn't a warning about the future.
And that's why everything is part of your diet. I say this all the time. Anything you consume, you eat, what you listen to, what you watch, you know what I'm saying, on social media, that is part of your programming and conditioning. So be like attentive of what you putting into your daily diet, man. So that's why I be trying to tell you all the time through these videos, bro. But don't listen to everything a motherfucker be saying. Even me, I don't listen. Like, dude had a lot of great points in this shit, but he said some dumb shit in there. But I'll still go check his channel out. You know, with that being said, let's see what else you have.
It was a manual for the present. The trash can full of glasses is still there, waiting in the alley.
Alright. No, I ain't waiting in the alley. He's waiting for your ass to sit at home. Nigga, no technology, you know, no outside influence, and just really sit to yourself about 30 minutes a day. Do that. If you just distracted and you addicted to everything in the world, you like, oh, I'm gonna be talking about pop culture all day, and you really care about it with your fucking emotions, hey, that's what you need to do. Sit your ass down. So with that being said, like, subscribe, and share. Stay peaceful, productive, and positive. It's that nigga Mine, and much love.
Can I be real or is it boring? To give you a peace of mind, cause mine is so enormous. We past the norm, Norman, while you're conforming. Like comforting mattresses that comfort them when torment snoring. Like you in your own home without home phone. I'm more like E.T., got a phone home past the moon. It's not a movie, I'm about to fly past it soon. Spiritually, I roam alone. Physically, I'm eating off a plastic spoon. Sometimes I get caught in the spur of the moment when ignorant niggas acting rude.